because I think they have given you the server access for 5-6 months or something like that. So in that case, the server access should be available, but it may possible like if it is unused for a longer time, then from the service provider what they do, they log the user just to make sure, just to increase the duration in the later stage. So if that is the case, then your user ID may be locked, otherwise it should be available to you.
Yeah, I'll check that and copy you also.
Okay, great. So this is the server, I think, from where we can do the PRA specific activities. So we can work on all sort of PRA activities, and we also need one JV organization structure here, because here whenever we go for the PRA, at that point of time we have different kind of contract, and their joint venture operating agreement can also be referred, and based on that you can extend your PRA related activity. Let me see whether the PRA patch and everything is there in this system or not. Hopefully it is there. Production and revenue accounting. So this is something which is already there in your system. So there would not be any sort of issue and all. Now when we are talking about PRA, what exactly the fundamental concept in terms of JVA, at least you have seen all sort of transaction can be splitted based on the ratio of the shareholder. Means I have multiple partners for a specific joint venture and joint venture operating agreement. So based on that equity group, my entire transaction is getting splitted. So it is a kind of by default splitting. So what all transaction you are posting, all the transaction are getting splitted into two parts. One may be 51%, another is the 49%, or what exactly the value that you have given. Now the same thing, now this joint venture or the venture concept is now again be there in your production and the revenue accounting. So production and revenue accounting is more of the activities of like in joint in your oil and gas. There are two major, you can say, the stream. One is the distribution of oil and gas, and another is the extraction of oil and gas. So when we are talking about the extraction of oil and gas, so that is your upstream. When we are talking about the distribution of oil and gas, so that is more of the downstream part. So your service station retailing, your GTAs, your remote logistics management, all sort of stuff would come under the head of downstream. Even in the downstream there are a few other module as well, which is majorly integrated with the SD and a few part of QM as well, but more of the SD related integration. You will have sales order and everything. But in terms of the upstream is concerned, that is more of the activities related to the extraction. Extraction means I am one oil company, so I am going to find one oil mine. So there is a probable place where I can go, I can invest my money, I can do the research. So there would be a big research hub that I can set up there. So there would be lot of investment that I am going to invest. Based on that, the research would be started, then maybe the drilling or all sort of stuff would be done, then the plant would be set up, and then from there I can start to extract the oil. So till that point of time, this is your upstream. When you are selling or you are distributing the oil to maybe a specific refineries, from that refineries you are selling, sending that to the independent petrol pump or maybe independent dealer. So it is a kind of downstream activity. Now what exactly the fundamental concept of the production and revenue accounting? In joint venture accounting, we have done the segregation of our business transaction based on the owner. but at that point of time it was not decided like which transaction is owning by which partner. Means we have the equity group, and there we can see how the transaction are getting splitted in the equity group. But in that equity group, who is the owner for a specific transaction and who is owing which, who is owning what exactly the activity, so that was not clear. Now in the production and revenue accounting, it is, you can say it is the more drill down activities, more related to the expenditure and the cost, expenditure, cost and revenue recognition of my oil and gas extraction, and a bit of distribution as well, and based on that how I can get the money and who is the owner for that specific activity. Mainly in the oil and gas upstream production and revenue accounting also, there are a lot of master datas. So lot of master datas that you need to define, and based on that your production and revenue accounting would be generated in your traditional RC system, and the integration of that would also be posted to the respective oil and gas system. Or you can say your activity would be done in the oil and gas, where your oil and gas system and the typical SAP core module document are also getting generated, because that is the base. Because in any IS software it is not possible to have the completely independent tool. So it's a few independent tool, and few tool would be dependent to the existing RC software. Now based on that you can do your oil and gas specific stuff. Now when we are talking about the production and revenue accounting, so that would be divided into two major parts. One is the production related stuff, another is the revenue accounting specifically. Now before going to do that, there is a concept called ownership. So what exactly the meaning of ownership? Ownership means, when ownership means it's a specific to a contract, and based on that contract how you are deciding who would be the owner of what activity. Means it is possible that the extraction is owning by a specific company, whereas the distribution is owning by multiple other companies. It is also possible in the extraction research related stuff is owning by somebody else, and the extraction machineries are owning by somebody else, or something like that. Okay, so that means there would be the multiple partner involved in the business, and those partner would have the specific venture. So they can again set up their own respective venture. So these venture you can take from your existing joint venture or the operating venture agreement, or you can again create the new venture here, and based on that you can decide who is owning what exactly the stuff.
So Atanu, if we create a venture here, that will be also be applicable on JVA side?
Well, it's the extension of that venture only.
Okay.
Okay. So you can create it from here, and that accordingly added club to the respective other venture, but there should be parity. Means you have already created a venture for a different scenario in joint venture accounting. That venture should not again be clubbed with a new venture which you are going to define. But of course, if it is a single venture which is applicable for joint venture accounting, the same venture is also applicable for the extraction, then of course you can link in between them. Okay.
Oh, okay. So do we link it here, or do we link it on the JVA side?
You can link it here.
Okay.
Okay. Now one primary master data for the production and revenue accounting, that is called the business associate. So all the entire transaction of the joint venture accounting are going to be mapped with the business associate. That means in a business you can have multiple partner, and each and every partner would be considered as a separate business associate. So you can say this business associate concept is similar to the business partner concept in our in our joint venture accounting or any FICA system where you can do your implementation based on business partner. So business partner is a similar kind of concept that you have the business associate, but it is altogether a different master data. Means it is not like a traditional business partner where you have multiple roles and all. It is a altogether new transaction code and new master data, but the activity or the objective of this business associate is more of the activity of a business partner. Now to have the business associate in your system, there can be major master data which is supposed to be created. That means you have to create customer and vendor, and every customer and vendor supposed to be linked to one business associate. So this business associate is nothing but the person who is going to engage in your system directly or indirectly, because here you don't have, even in the joint venture accounting also you have the customer and vendor concept, right, to create your operating agreement, equity group and all. Here also, to declare multiple owner, you need to define your business associate, you need to define your customer or vendor, and then that vendor would be defined as the business associate, and that business associate is going to be assigned with the respective master data of the, either it is a venture or it is a ODI owner, or if it is a different kind of owning stuff like the unit venture and all, there it is going to be mapped, and based on that it will create a cluster of data similar to your venture accounting. Based on that you can do the segregation of your expenses and revenue. Okay, I'm just giving you a kind of overall holistic view of the production accounting, and then accordingly we'll move forward the respective stuff. Okay, I think we have the, we have this well completion and all sort of stuff. Okay, open your book as well. Okay, so I forwarded both the two books to you. These two are not that much big books, and in terms of the, because these two are more of the PDF related stuff, so that's why this is not that much big. But let's see what exactly that they have given. Overview, then the production, then the master data, then the contract and pricing, ownership and conclusion. So these are the major things, like what is overview, so that is the today's session. Then we'll have the master data, what all master data, like the contract, ODI part, owner, there are different sort of owners, so that we'll discuss. Then we'll have the ownership, there is a concept of the ownership that we are discussing, so that we'll discuss. Then production, then contract and pricing, and then the conclusion. In contract and pricing there are a lot of like the typical MM and SD pricing concept is there. Okay, so that we'll discuss, like when you are going to do the extraction, so based on that you are going to decide what exactly the price. So when we are talking about PRA, so this is more of the activities in terms of the ownership and in terms of the costing as well. So when I'm going to extract my oil, so what would be the cost for that? So for that I need a detailed contract, and I also need a proper pricing as well. So what would be the cost per barrel, how that cost is going to be calculated and derived, so that stuff. And then we'll have the conclusion, means how we can do the overall PRS specific activities.
So we'll also,
so there they have,
Atanu will also do the pricing part here?
Yeah, we'll do that.
Okay.
It's in your topic itself, contract and pricing. Just give me a moment. Yeah, Anita. So pricing and contract and pricing is very much in our topic, so we'll discuss that.
Mhm.
So let's see what exactly the business scenario that they have given. You will have two scenario to pick from, one gas and one oil network. Let it be the oil network only. You will set up your DOI and the owners that will identify the percentage that each owner is entitled to and the burden groups that are associated with each working interest owner. You will set up your allocation rule and producing entities with the production environment in order to execute the allocation process that allocate the volume back to well completion and contract and pricing will utilize in contractual allocation by referring contract number and marketing representative during process. So it is mainly talk about how you are going to set up your ownership, and based on that how you are going to allocate your cost and how you do the production setup, and based on that how you can calculate your product cost, basically how you can calculate your cost of oil or gas. Okay, then there can be some more information like the product control will generate the producer nominates gas only and calculate adjusted GRI, and you will allocate volume and gas transfer. Fine, gas is not exactly relevant, so it is mainly the scenario where you can have the contractual agreement based on how you can calculate your product cost related stuff. Now when we are talking about development highlight, so here we can have the SAP core application and the tool leveraged in development, SAP PRA solution fully embedded within R3 framework, and SAP ownership subscription added. So that means when we are going to implement PRA in any organization, we need the core engine, that is our SAP R3. So R3 is very much integrated with PRA, and it has one more set of master data, that is called the ownership. So ownership subsystem is not like a different system altogether, it's the same system only, where you can have a piece of or the specific data which you can use it for your ownership calculation purpose. In the production and revenue accounting, there are a lot of bunches of activities, but the major activity that you can see in your right mark, so there is the production, there is the contractual allocation, there is valuation. So these are the three major activities that you can have. Production means is the oil extraction kind of stuff. Then the contractual allocation, it would always be there to allocate what exactly the product cost in between multiple owner, and the valuation, what exactly the oil that you are extracting, so that has to be validated or evaluated. So that valuation is a kind of product costing that you are doing in terms of your production and revenue accounting is concerned. So these all are not that much relevant. There is some kind of master data that you can use, though we are talking about cost. So there is a lot of involvement of the cost object, which is cost center for us in the present book scenario is concerned. But apart from cost center, you can also use internal order, process order. You can also use mainly WBS element is majorly used for the oil and gas company. So you can always use the network and WBS element. But for the training perspective, they have only mentioned that the cost center. So cost center can be used in a massively. Apart from that, you can create your customer and vendor, and that customer and vendor can be linked with your business associate. Master data setup include cost center, customer record, business associate. Exercise will consist of two training cases. One is Texas gas case and another is the oil case. So take the second one, oil case, and design your stuff. It's the same kind of stuff only. When you are talking about PRA, a venture can have many cost center, but a cost center can only have one single venture at any point of time. So when we are talking about venture, so this is the venture which is the existing in the joint venture accounting. The same venture you are going to extend in your PRA. Operated well, completion are required to have a cost center, and have the measurement point is optional. Not all revenue entries have well completion and MPs, so a cost center is required on the DOI accounting table GP to fill the gap. In PRA, a joint venture, a venture or DOI can have multiple cost center, and a cost center can be linked to more than a venture. That means its DOI means it's a kind of venture only. So we'll have that master data, we'll discuss on this. So a venture or DOI can have multiple cost center, and the cost center can be linked to more than one venture. So both of these two combination are possible. If you are going to discuss the PRA, PRA is a flexible enough to handle operation, reporting, cost center matching and cost center without restriction. So this is what exactly the stuff related to the, I think there are a couple of more, yeah, cost center. The cost center entries will be, let it be like, to create a cost center, go to transaction such and such, follow the menu here and you can create. So first they will tell you how to, what exactly the stuff of your cost center and all. So I think that you have already created, so no need to go for that. Then here there is a concept called the customer. Customer created in core SAP sales and distribution. The business associate master record is integrated with SAP core vendor maintenance. If you want to use core vendor in PRA, that vendor will have to be set up as a business associate. That means you can always use your core vendor and customer concept, because you will have purchase order and sales order, all sort of concept. But in the PRA, if you want to extend them, so you have to declare them as business associate. There can be different type of business associate that you have in your PRA: marketing representative, transporter, operator. So these can be the example of customer business associate. In terms of vendor business associate, they can be owner, they can be working interest or the loyalty interest. So there can be two type of owner that you may have in the PRA business associate. One is the loyalty interest and another is the working interest. Working interest means the working owner who has the interest to get the profit or revenue from the operation, and loyalty interest is the original owner of the place who has not invested a single money in this project, but this person is owning the place or that mine, maybe from its family, or it's a kind of gifted stuff. So it's kind of your Gulf country Sheikh person. So they already owning the mine. So they are the owner of such, and they are not investing any money to that. They are only giving the lease or right to other oil companies to extract the oil for 10 years, 20 years, and based on that they are getting their own loyalty without spending any money from their pocket. So they are the loyalty interest. In terms of the loyalty interest is concerned, there is no investment, only will get the gain. So it has a separate master data, but when you have the working interest, it will have lot of expenses, and parallel to income is also there. 7 customer will be set up for as the business associate. So gas transporter, gas sold to party, gas marketing representative, this is one more thing, I just need to check the full form. Gas operator, oil sold to party. These are the 7 varieties of the business associate category that you can define. To create customer, you can go to the transaction code and you can create your stuff. Business associate, where business associate are used in PRA, ownership, revenue distribution, journal entry, check input, tax application. So more or less everywhere you can use these business associate. So this business associate means your vendor and customer are linked with a business associate so that you can use for the operational purpose. Business associate type describe the relation your company has to the business associate. Once a business associate has been created, the corresponding customer or vendor should not be maintained using the core SAP business core SAP vendor master transaction. That means what it is saying, when your core vendor and customer is being mapped with a business associate, then every time it's supposed to be synchronized with your business associate. That means once you have started to create business associate, then you always need to go by that route only. That means sometime you have created the business associate corresponding to your vendor and customer, and sometime you don't, then there would be the difficulty to differentiate them. So that's why they are saying that it should always be in sync, that whenever you will create the customer and vendor, you should also map that to the respective business associate. There is no automatic way to create the business associate like your business partner. In business partner, you can always go and create the automatic business partner. If I create a customer, then business partner would be created automatically, and vice versa. That functionality here is not available, so you always need to create a business associate, which is a kind of extension activity. So every time you have to do this. These are the different type of business associate type that you have: BI, CI, OI, OP, PR, RM. These are the name, like OP means operator, SH means shipper, then WI means working interest. So there are different sort of business associate are there, business associate types are there, and it is also mentioned that which type can be used for what kind of master data. Means some can be used for vendor and some can be used for customer. So that is being given. There is no single business associate type which can be used for both, means for both vendor and customer. So that is not possible. A business associate must be created for each customer record created. Business associate will be created for gas transporter, gas sorter. This I think we already discussed. And business associated can be created from O3UCM_VA. So this is not at all related to the traditional vendor and customer, but you can easily map them. Even while creation of your vendor and customer, you always need to refer the existing vendor or customer to create any business associate, new business associate. Okay, this is what exactly the conclusion that they have given. This session addressed new cost center and their impact in PRA and core SAP. Cost center we are already aware of, but what exactly the primary impact of cost center in the PRA? It is mainly to help you to capture the production related all sort of transactions. Rather to say cost, you can say it is a transaction. And then you also have the cost center which can be properly mapped with your ownership, that is nothing but a venture or contract. So you can map multiple way, means 1:1 and n:n. Customer creation and their use of the core vendor master maintenance. So you can have the customer master creation and vendor master creation, and then the use of BA in PRA, business associate in PRA. This is one exactly the exercise that they have given to have the business associate to be in place. Okay, so there is not any exercise. Maybe this exercise you can try at your home. It has the answer I think as well, so you can go and you can check the answer at your own. But to create a business associate, you can go to the transaction that is O3UCM_VA. So you can enter into it and you can create a business associate. I think we already created a business associate. Let's see whether we have any existing business associate or not. Oh wow, we have too many business associates. So this is a specific server which is mean for PRA only. So you can have lot of master data there.
Mhm.
So majorly whenever you are right now we don't have any specific company code. So let it be that 4000 only. Maybe tomorrow we can create the company code, or if I get a chance then I'll create a company code. So here it is showing some kind of field that the business associate is 126, which is a configuration number range which is getting generated. Then sequential number means business associate number, that means 126-1. Then whether it is a vendor or customer that you anyhow need to declare. So they have declared it's either it is a vendor. For which company code, then what exactly the business associate type. So this business associate type is a non-working interest, mainly working interest, non-working interest, then the purchaser, operator, shipper, seller. Okay, these are the majorly used or commonly used business associate type. There are lot of other types as well, but those all are not exactly regular, those all are rare in nature. Then you have the resident country and the resident region. Okay, these you don't need to put. You can have some sort of payment data as well, like payment frequency. When you are declaring this as a business associate, that means this person is definitely linked with you in terms of the invoicing or billing related transaction. Though this is vendor, so this is a kind of invoicing related transaction that the person is might be. So what exactly the payment terms with the person, what exactly the tax type, where you're going to do, what kind of payment method that you have, whether payment is blocked or not. So all sort of information you can put. Then there are two informational fields, one is the address and another is the alternative address. So these two are two informational fields that you can populate and you can get the information.
So we don't, Atanu, we don't give here what type of business associate, like royalty or working interest. Is there any tab to show that? Non-working interest.
Here only.
Okay.
You can create your own business associate also. Let us create a business associate, but in that case, yeah, let us create one business associate. Sequence number 1, you declare this as a vendor or customer, let it be vendor. I don't know, we have SHEL, right? No. Now here you can majorly used billing interest. Non-working interest is nothing but your royalty interest. Okay, so royalty interest is your non-working interest, and there is one more which is your working interest. What exactly the entity type? Well, you can put it as non-applicable, or you can, what kind of entity is that? If it is a state, or it is a charitable entity, or it is other exempted entity, or it is a corporation or an individual, so that you can put what kind of entity. What is the resident for this person? Region, I don't know, in US what all region is there. So any region. You can put the billing frequency there. Here you can integrate that business associate with your vendor. So it is not like that. You can this extension, it is given, it is initially it is given from this place vendor, but now here it can link to your vendor as well. So you can have any existing vendor. Okay, so to that you can also map. So you can go and you can check the existing vendor. So if you have any existing vendor, so that you have already created in your company code. Okay, for JVA. Oh, okay. No, for shell, I think it would not allow me to do that. Okay. Let me see if it does, then good. So there is a specific account group that you need to declare for the business associate.
So first you're creating the vendor and linking it here.
Yeah, both way. Even from this screen itself, it is also possible to create, and then you can link it. But the best way is to create your vendor, because vendor should be there in your ECC and RC system. From there, it's supposed to be reflected. So in that case, you should have your vendor, and then it's supposed to be transferred here. If you have oil and gas extension in your system, then there would be the additional tab in your vendor master would be there. So that is called the oil and gas specific add-on. So this vendor got created. So now you can go and you can check. Oh no, not this one. 131. So this is the business associate that you have created. You can click on this to modify this, and this business associate, now this vendor tab got activated. So from there you can go and you can check. Even if you want, you can also modify the vendor master data. This is nothing but the XK03. Additional data for oil and gas general. Here you can have the specific entry. This is not exactly relevant for PRA. This is more of the downstream activity. Here you can have oil and gas specific setting like invoice cycle, handling type, vendor group. For I think Brazil specific something is there, split invoice. Okay, miscellaneous additional data. So that also here you can also populate. So these all are enhanced, so it can be easily modified. It can be easily modified through user exit, and from there you can add your custom field for your reporting purpose, and you can use it for these specific activities as well. You don't need to put anything, this field here, it would be automatically populated the default value. We don't use this, so it is what SG data. So let it be as blank only, and it will automatically populate owner is not an SG. What exactly the meaning, let me tell you, when I have also forgotten. SG code is a one character designation indicating the SG status of owner. Select Y here to indicate that this business associate is in SG. SG is the legal term which means owner when no owner can be found for a property. The revenue derived from the property is then given to the state. If someone dies and then there are no, these code identify the SG status for this owner. Okay, S-cheat means no owner can be found. So that means it is S-cheat. So for this thing we have the owner. That owner is this vendor. So that means that means the owner is not in S-cheat. That means owner is not the state. Owner is there, very much there. So that means we don't need to populate this field. Even in the organization also, we generally don't touch this field. Means when the owner died, so then you can put in on that date, so S-cheat date you can put that date, and here you can put as yes. That means now this is not a property of the owner who is actually owning this, so it has to be the property of some government, local authority or something like that. Okay, so this is what exactly the business associate creation. It can be created for both vendor and customer, and different type of business associate you can declare, and based on that you can decide. So there is one more thing like to define the business associate. There is the concept of one or two small configuration. One configuration is the assignment of the vendor and customer account group along with the business associate. So you need to declare that this vendor and customer can be declared or can be used as the business associate. So this is one. There is no such number range to be declared for the business associate. So no, for this business associate, sorry, so there is a specific group from where you can declare this. So there is no such specific numbering that you can declare, but there is a configuration from where you can set up the numbering for the business associate, whether the business associate number range would be internal or external. So that tick you can set up, and based on that you can the system would automatically generate the business associate number. A few organizations will follow the same vendor number as the business associate number, but the business associate number is much more smaller than the vendor number. It is just a 7 character field. I think the 6 character 1 2 3 4 5 6, yeah, the 6 character field. So if you want to maintain the business associate number which is in sync with your vendor number, then you can maintain your vendor number as a 6-digit character, and your number range of vendor and the business associate you can maintain as same. So from the account group level, your business associate and vendor number would always be in sync. So that you can define. Apart from that, let it be two different number, but at a business associate level they are always in sync because you have done the mapping, you have done the assignment in between them. So this is the assignment that you have done. From vendor master it is not possible to display the business associate, but from business associate you can always move to the vendor master display, vendor master change, creation, transaction. Okay, okay, fine. So this is your business associate creation, and then there are a lot of master data that is there in your PRA. So we'll go one by one, and then we'll go for the transaction posting, month end, year end closing, related activities, reporting aspects. So there are a lot of report designing tools are also there in the in your this thing system, so that you can design. Okay, so that we'll do, maybe we'll do it tomorrow. So you just tell me what exactly our next schedule means, when we are going to sit together. Is it tomorrow?
Tomorrow no, Atanu. Saturday, how about Saturday?
Saturday 10 or 10:30 p.m. would be fine for me. Rather to have 10, we can make it at 10:30.
10:30 Indian time, right?
Correct. So when you have started today, so another half an hour later.
Okay, so for you 10:30 p.m. is my 12 in the noon, in morning. I mean after.
10:30. No, I think no.
Yeah.
When you have started today?
Today we started at around 11:45 or something, or 40 or something.
Okay, 11:30. Yeah, so it should be 12 for you. Correct.
Yeah. So yeah, can you just send me an email that this is the time so that we both know that.
No, this the now this Crescent guy, let it be handled. I'll send an email to Crescent that will have the next session on
Yeah.
such and such, and let them send us this GoToMeeting link and everything. Okay.
Okay. So Saturday morning for me. Good. Okay.
Correct.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, Abnita. Thanks for today.
Thanks, Tanu. Bye bye.
Yeah. Thank you. Bye.